Hi, everyone, and welcome to our Summer Self-Care series, week 2. I'm so happy to have you all. I'm Suzi Lula, and I've been a spiritual counselor for about 18 years now in private practice, and I'm mom to a 14-year-old son. So I know a lot and have learned a lot about self-care. And today we're going to be talking specifically about emotional self-care, our emotional triggers, holding the highest vision for ourselves and our children over the summer. And I'll be guiding you through a meditation. So I am passionate about really changing the face of motherhood from one of self-sacrifice to one of self-care. And that's what we're going to be talking about today. So maybe get a cup of tea, grab a journal, a pen, in case you want to take notes. Please feel free to write on the comment section here. If you're listening later, please feel free to also write your questions on the comment section, and I'll go back during the week and answer all of your questions. People have told me they've been listening and watching the video all week, so please use this as a transformational tool. I know that self-care is one of the most undervalued and most potent transformational tool that we have. So we can transform our life by taking care of our life. So let's get started. So we're going to first and foremost, I know that you probably have heard this saying, without vision, the people perish. So we want to hold the highest vision for ourselves and our children over the summer. This is the first way that we can rise up and create exactly what we are intending to create. It starts with a vision. And by vision, I don't mean anything externally. I don't mean the greatest camps that our children are going to, the play dates that they're having. I'm talking about qualities, the quality of life that you intend for yourself this summer. The quality of life that you are intending for your child and your relationship this summer. So as we start with vision, just take a moment and gently close your eyes, and I'm going to assist you to call in your own highest vision. We have to start with the vision for ourselves. So as you gently close your eyes, becoming still, you may even want to place your hand on your heart if it feels right to you. I know that within each one of us, our intuition is fully awake and alive when we take the time to connect to it. So we're just allowing our intuition to come forward, and we're asking the question, what qualities am I seeking to express this summer? What qualities are the qualities that are calling to me this summer? It could be qualities like calm, peace, joy, inspiration, connection. There are going to be certain qualities that are calling you. So we're gently calling forward the quality of life, the qualities of the summer that you are seeking to embody. Inspiration, peace, connection. Whatever it is that's meaningful and valuable to you. And now you're asking yourself, what is it that I need to become in order to express fully that vision? So there's something inside of us that is eager, that is ready to come forward and assist us to embody and to fully express the qualities coming forward. Perhaps it is calm, and so perhaps there's some practices that you're being called to participate in to assist you to get connected with that calm. And ask yourself, is there anything that I am needing to release and let go of. Perhaps there's something that is ready for me to shed in order for these qualities to come overflowing into my life. So if there's anything that you are needing or seeking to shed, to let go of, that ever gets in the way of the qualities that are calling to you for this summer. And just allow this to percolate within you. Listen to your intuition. As you gently open your eyes again, you may want to jot it down either in your journal and on the comment section here. I see that many of you are already doing that, which is wonderful because we can so learn from each other, and we have a power of collective consciousness that we want to lean into each other. So I saw, I think it was Goldie, it's gone now, but I think she said peace. And Angie is saying shed my ego and fears. Excellent. Alyssa, control. Beautiful, beautiful. Yes, lovely. So allow this to keep percolating throughout the next, 20 minutes, and add anything that comes to you. And we're going to move on now. As we embody this highest vision, you want to take time every day, morning, noon, evening. That's why I like to write it down. So you can come back to this page throughout the week. You can go to your journal, because the more that you remind yourself, then the more it's going to become part of not only your inner life, but it's going to overflow into your home and into your relationship with your children. And so that's what I want to talk about next. Emotional triggers with our children, because in the summer when we're with our children more, they're not in school. Those of you who have younger children, you know this because they're always with us. Emotional triggers, when your child is triggered and we are triggered at the same time, can easily get in the way of this highest vision. So I want us to talk about emotional triggers and emotional self-care. Now, the number one tool that is at the heart of emotional self-care is self-compassion. So let's take a practical example. Let's first start with a trigger, that you might have within yourself. Maybe it's not with your child yet. Let's just have a trigger that's within you. It could have something to do with that high vision and what you need to let go of, but find a trigger that is meaningful, valuable, real, and authentic for you. I'm going to share one of mine, so I want you guys to do this with me. It can be something very simple. It doesn't have to be anything, huge. So I have a 14-year-old son, and I can walk into his room at any given time, and if it's a mess, I can get triggered. He can be home, he can be not home, he can be in his room, he can be out of state. If I walk in that room sometimes, not always, sometimes, and his room is messy, I get triggered. So what I'm going to teach you now is a tool of self-compassion. The way that we can soothe and ultimately heal our own triggers is to apply compassion to our trigger. That very trigger inside of us is the place that needs our compassion the most. So does everyone have a trigger? You have something real. And I'd like you, again, if it feels comfortable for you, to gently close your eyes and just feel inside of your body. Usually when we have this emotional trigger, we feel it in our body. The energy rushes in our body because an emotion is a physiological response in our body to a thought, to a mental thought. So the energy in our body is there. It feels uncomfortable, but it's actually a great opportunity and a great gift because it's seeking our attention. So when I walk into my son's room and it's a mess and I feel this surge of energy within me, then that is the very place in my body that I'm seeking to surround and embrace and envelop with my own self-compassion. Usually we judge that place within ourselves, and judgment and compassion cannot coexist. So this is your week to let go of judgment. Judgment and compassion cannot coexist. So if we are judging ourselves, it's going to be challenging not to judge our child. If we are judging ourselves, we're not so easily going to be able to be compassionate to our child, because whatever energy we're carrying inside of us is going to overflow to our child. So we're seeking to create a container of compassion. Now, how do we do that? So let's say I go into my son's room, or you're working with your own trigger. It's a mess. I feel this surge in my body. I gently, especially if my son is not around, so I'm speaking right now, I'm not talking about when we're both triggered at the same time. It's coming in a moment. But I have an opportunity if I'm alone. I gently close my eyes and I reflect back to myself the exact feeling that I'm having in my body. So I might say to myself, "Oh, Suzi, you are really upset that his room is a mess right now. Oh, Suzi, I can feel that you are really triggered right now that his room is a mess. Wow, Suzi, I can feel that many big emotions are coming up as a result or triggered by this mess." So first I'm speaking to myself in a tone. It's not the exact words that I'm saying, it's the tone of connection that I'm feeling. And then I just say, "Tell me more about that. Seems like a big trigger. Tell me more about that." You want to use that phrase, "Tell me more about that." It's going to be your best friend. Tell me more about that. So then I might say back to myself, it's just, he's always a mess. I'm so nervous. He's, collects clutter. He doesn't like to clean his room. Oh, Suzi, I see that you are so nervous and anxious about him collecting clutter. That makes you very nervous. So you're reflecting back, you're saying back to you the exact words that you've just said to yourself. And you say, "Yes, I'm so nervous. When he gets into high school or college, I just think that if he doesn't get hold of this now, he's never going to get hold of this." Again, you're saying, "Oh, I see. You're really nervous about the future. You're really nervous about him in college. You're really anxious." And again, you're enveloping yourself with your own self-compassion. "Yeah, I just feel like if I'm always not on top of him, it's just never going to happen." And then you start asking this pivotal question: how do these feelings about my son reflect what I'm feeling about myself? So it's like holding a mirror up to yourself and asking yourself, how does this upset that I'm taking outside of myself, how does it reflect back to me feelings that I have about myself? It's like holding up a mirror. And so when I hold up that mirror, what comes to me is, well, I feel like I need to be so ultra organized. I need to feel like I need to be so controlled. I feel like I have to be immaculate in my word, in my deed, in my actions, in my home. Oh, Suzi, you're feeling like you really need to be very controlled. You really need to be, anally, compulsively neat and orderly with your words, your actions. So again, I'm just saying back to myself exactly what I just expressed. This is self-compassion. Now, when you get to that, that's the heart. When I get to how it reflects me, then I have an opportunity, then I have a gift. oh, perhaps there's a part inside of me that is asking me to relax more, to trust more, to know that maybe there is room for me to be more relaxed. I don't have to hold myself to such a high standard. I can let go. Each one of us has our own lessons, our own learning. When we get connected to what it is that we are here to learn and what it is that this trigger is intending to teach us, then we have the opportunity to practice within ourselves. So then my practice for the rest of the week without my son would be, oh, I know this about myself, and the place inside of me that holds me to such high standards and keeps the bar so high on myself. I need compassion for that part of me. I need to connect to that part of me. And I promise that when we apply emotional self-care, when we apply self-compassion to ourselves, don't even think about my son, only me, lighten up on me, relax inside of myself, and then you're applying whatever your lessons are. Although I have to say, as parents, we probably could all use a dose of lightening up on ourselves. But as we do this in our own lives, then when the moment, and I'm going to move in now to the moment when I'm triggered and my son is triggered, it becomes a whole different ballgame. So before we go on, if there's anything you want to share on the comment page, I'd love to see. I'm going to answer all the comments, all the questions today and throughout the week for anyone who's joining us. My name is Suzi Lula. I've been in private practice as a spiritual counselor for about 18 years now. And I'm mom to a 14-year-old boy, so I've been through many of the developmental stages with children so far. I work with moms all day, every day. And as I said earlier, I just have a passion for seeking to transform this idea of self-sacrifice into self-care. Because what I know is when I care for myself, then I transform my own self and I transform the life of my child. Certainly our relationship. So here we are. We're talking about our own triggers. And we're learning, and I find that this is the most challenging thing because in our culture, when we feel uncomfortable, we are taught to bypass that discomfort. We will do anything not to feel uncomfortable in our culture. We've been taught to, shop it away, eat it away, pray it away, meditate it away, drink it away. We've been taught that, emotions and especially uncomfortable emotions have no place in our life. And I'm telling you that A, couldn't be the farthest from the truth. B, the places inside of you that are upset are the places inside of you that need your compassion the most. And when we learn to envelop ourselves with self-compassion, you will never need to run away from an uncomfortable emotion again. And when you get comfortable in your discomfort, you will be more comfortable connecting with your child with their discomfort. As you practice this within yourself, you'll find you and your child will become less triggered simultaneously than ever before. So, we're going to move on to the example of all examples, the question that all of us have all of the time. What happens? How do we navigate it when I'm triggered and my child is triggered? So first and foremost, I am imploring you to do this work when your child is not around so that it happens less and less, but it does happen sometimes. So we all know, and I have this big joke, every parenting book that we read practically, except for Dr. Shefali's, The Conscious Parent and The Awakened Family, You know, I used to read these books before her books came out, unfortunately, when my son was young, and every book I would read would say, you know, take a pause, take a pause, take a pause. And I'd be shouting out loud with these books, you know, if I knew how to take a pause in that moment, you know, I wouldn't even be reading this book. I wouldn't need to read the book. So a lot of my work has been around how can I assist mothers to become present with this material and this energy within us so that we can get to the pause, because we all know the pause is, you know, the holy grail of parenting. So let's say I walk into my son's room, his room is a mess, and he's in there. Doing this work for long enough, I will automatically start feeling compassion in my own heart, and that will assist me from saying anything. So first and foremost, I want to feel the surge of energy in my body, and I want to feel it without saying a word. Then I want to describe to my son what I am feeling. Oh my goodness, I walked into your room and I can feel myself so anxious just looking around. Oh my goodness, I am having such big feelings right now. I'm just saying what is happening inside of me. And then once I say what's happening inside of me, it's going to register inside of myself that I don't need to say anything to my son in this moment, because anything that I say is going to be pointless. When I am triggered, this is why I'm so passionate about self-care, and in particular, emotional self-care. When I am triggered, always, 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 there's nothing to say to anyone else. It's my work to take care of my own trigger. So it's not always easy when we're both triggered. But when I say to him, at least, oh my goodness, I am having such big feelings right now. Now I can say that to a 3-year-old. I can say that to a 33-year-old, you know, and I can say that to my 14-year-old. And you can feel a sigh of relief, because then I'm not going to impose my trigger onto him. So then, depending on the age of your child, obviously it's different with a 3-year-old, a 4-year-old, a 6-year-old, a 12-year-old, depending on where they are developmentally, is going to determine if and what you can then say to them. But less is more. So with my son, obviously I've been doing this for many, many years, but let's say it's a 3-year-old. Mommy is having such big feelings right now. Mommy is going to take 3 deep breaths here before mommy says one more word. And I say that out loud. I said that to him since he is 3 years old. And it's wonderful, because then it models to him that he can take care of his own emotional triggers without spewing them around to anyone. So I'm wanting you to work with your own trigger, find your own way. Then, once you say whatever feels honest to you and authentic, you know, I'm having very big feelings right now, I'm going to take some deep breaths. Sometimes in the past, I've even gone into the other room. I love you, I adore you, I need to go into my bedroom and take 10 more deep breaths. Whatever it takes, I'll be right back. This will only happen, but it will always happen, if you have self-compassion, because you need to have something that you are enveloped in that makes you feel connected inside of yourself when you are having big feelings. So doesn't that, you know, hopefully give you some hope and optimism that we shouldn't be so afraid. We shouldn't push away our big feelings, our uncomfortable feelings. We want to teach our children how to be with their own uncomfortable feelings. So again, post any comments you have. I'm seeing Kirsty, my mantra is less is more. Exactly. Less is definitely more. So let's just take one more moment. Let's take a deep breath. Anything that you want to jot down, any questions you have in the comment section. Remember, this is not for the faint of heart. This doesn't come in a nanosecond. So please feel free to come back often to this recording, because this is the tool. And you can practice it over and over and over again this week, because it's such real and practical examples, right? You can use it with 10 different examples in your own life. Just make sure that they're real and they're meaningful. So before we go into our guided meditation, I just want to welcome anybody that's jumping on the call or watching the video perhaps. I'm Suzi Lula, a spiritual counselor for 18 years in private practice. You know, here to gather the self-care tribe, right? Let's take this and not only transform our own life, but let's share it with those moms who might be exhausted, overwhelmed, overworked, you know, that aren't connected with compassion inside of them. Share this with a friend who could use it. You know, that's the greatest gift that we can give besides ourselves and our child, to share this video with somebody that you know that might be struggling. There's so many single moms, adoptive moms that are doing this alone, divorced moms, separated moms, you know, moms working 2 jobs. These are the people I'm dealing with all the time, and I'm so passionate about wanting to get support and joining together on this page and the comments. They can go back and read the comments. It's so really supportive to be joining together in a community. So yes, RD, you're saying don't push away our big feelings anymore. Yes, yes, yes. I'm telling you, yes, yes, yes. We don't need, this is liberation. This is freedom. This is an unencumbered, unburdened life when we don't need to push away our big feelings. So thank you. Brilliant. Wonderful comment. So let's take a deep breath. I want to leave you all with a guided meditation, my favorite things to do. So if it feels right for you, just gently, yes, Alyssa, before we start, Alyssa is saying some of our deep feelings are too deep to even tap into. I want to speak to this for a nanosecond here. That is so accurate. And that is why I'm encouraging you all to start with the smaller triggers, like walking into your child's room and it's a mess, right? Even as I work myself down to the core of what's going on within me, it will, as Alyssa is saying, it will take us to some deeper, those deeper places within me. There are, you know, reasons why I have a high bar for myself, need to relax, need to let go, have some spaciousness with myself. So those can get into some deeper challenges, issues, and feelings and emotions. So we're going to be working with that throughout the summer. So please, please, please stay connected, because it's like the onion, right? We're going to peel away, and we need to create a sense of safety for those bigger emotions to come up. So the container of compassion and self-compassion that I'm teaching you today is the way that we're going to start. So thank you. That was a very, very important comment. So on to the guided meditation. If it feels right to you, just gently close your eyes. Again, if it feels right to you, just gently place your hand on your heart as a way of showing your spirit, your heart, that you are intending to connect. And let's all just take a nice deep breath in together. And exhale. Let's take another nice deep breath in together, and this time exhale with a sigh. And one last time, deep breath in and exhale with a sigh. Feel your breath. Allow your mind to just rest into your heart. We don't really need to quiet the mind as much as open the heart. So we're just allowing the feeling of love, of calm, of peace, of inner connection, joy, to come forward in our own heart right now. Let's start with acknowledgement and appreciation. So begin to simply appreciate yourself for learning these tools, practicing these tools, investing your time right now in practicing this. Start with appreciation. So appreciative of myself for choosing to invest my time this way. So appreciative of myself for the willingness to embrace uncomfortable feelings. So appreciative of myself for investing the time to hold a high vision for myself, my children, my summer. Anything that is meaningful, valuable, real, authentic. Start with appreciation. I have a saying that what we appreciate, appreciates. So feel a sense of gratitude, appreciation, acknowledgement, open-heartedness. Anything that you are truly grateful for, appreciative. Most of the time, the simpler, the better. And now, just envision yourself as an overflowing fountain. Take whatever tiny, small appreciation that you have welling up inside of you and envision yourself as a fountain. First and foremost, envision yourself fountaining that self-compassion, self-appreciation, self-care within your own heart over and over and over again. And know that you're going to be in a community of like-minded individuals doing the same thing at least 3 times a day, every day until we meet back again next Monday. Yes, I will share this on the page, these words. And then you're seeing yourself fountain. See a stream of the fountain of this appreciation and acknowledgement fountaining over to your children, your child, your children, your partner, if you have a partner, if you're in a partnership. See the wellspring that's happening in your own heart. See it overflowing from not an empty tank now, but a filled heart, an overflowing heart, an open heart, a joyful heart, an expanded heart, a spacious heart. We're connected to our heart through compassion right now. And now we're envisioning ourselves fountaining it out like a stream onto our children. So we're going to find one thing, 3 things to appreciate about them today, to have compassion for them today. Just have that commitment, have that willingness. Envision yourself as a channel, as a messenger of compassion, a messenger of appreciation, a messenger of acknowledgement. See yourself allowing it to stream and overflow onto your children today. Acknowledge them for no apparent reason. Appreciate them for just the quality of their being. And then whenever you're ready, gently open your eyes. Take another deep breath. So grateful to join together with everyone heart to heart, right? It's like nourishment to our spirit. I don't know about you, but for me, connecting with my heart, opening my heart, it is truly delicious to me. It's nourishing to my spirit. It's nourishing to my heart. And I'm deeply grateful to be nourishing my heart and my spirit with all of you. So please come back often throughout the week. I'm getting ready to leave for Greece in a few hours, but I'm going to be Facebook Living from Greece, from Santorini. And so I am inviting everyone to tune in next Monday, same time, and we will continue on this journey of summer self-care together. So thank you all. I'm Suzi Lula signing off. Have a beautiful week, and keep signing on these comments, and I will update them and answer throughout the week so we can keep the conversation going. All right, take care everyone. Much love, and I will see you next week. Bye.